special edition of all things going on today on the Ben Garcia Show. Mat Ishbia hires a new president of basketball operations, the only subject on today's show, but we're going to spend a good 15 to 20 minutes talking about it. So with that being said, let's do it.
The Ben Garcia Show. Yeah. Woo. Best show in the land. Yup. Listen. Come and get your information from Ben Garcia. Get the latest on your quarterback, running backs, and receivers. Tune in, so any other show you don't need them. Any news that he giving out, please just believe him. Giving out the latest prediction and top-notch analysis. Wanna hear the truth, better have thick skin like callus. The latest move that your team just made can be damaging. The dudes ain't speaking no facts, they just be rambling. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. Yeah. Lights, camera, action, turn on the show, go get the cameraman. The Ben Garcia Show.
What is up, guys? Welcome into yet another edition of the Ben Garcia Show. Thank you so much for making me a part of your day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, potentially even tell a friend about the Ben Garcia Show. There's not a ton of news to get to on today's show. It's a breaking news, Benston reaction edition of the Ben Garcia Show. I know I told you guys I should have been way more thorough about that. We've been having a large number of people start watching the show. It's growing. There's a lot of cool things happening here. But I pretty much swore to you guys I would not be streaming today on a Friday because I've been streaming every single day since last Monday because of the NFL draft, because things have just been busy. And then, of course, I say that, and the Phoenix Suns hire a brand new president of basketball operations, a general manager per se, and I've got some thoughts on it. I thought about waiting to talk about this on Monday, but at that point, it just feels a little old. And the wounds that we feel like we have from this hire feels like they've kind of been neglected. So with that being said, let's talk about it. Let's spend 15, 20 minutes reacting to the Phoenix Suns hiring a president of basketball operations, a general manager, promoting him from vice president, which I didn't know that was his job before, which should tell you all that you should know about this hire in the first place. New general manager for the Phoenix Suns, Brian Gregory. My first instant reaction is this. It feels like Mat Ishbia did his frat boy friend a solid and decided to give him a better job and better pay as long as he does exactly what Mat Ishbia is told. This is one of the most asinine hires that the Phoenix Suns could have done. And I've seen some of the pushback. 90% of it agrees with me, and that kind of frustrates me because I'd rather be on the other side, but I can't be with something as clearly bad as this. And some of the pushback is, well, you just got to give him time. You just got to allow him to find his spot. Doesn't really matter what his resume is. Doesn't really matter who his friend Mat Ishbia is. He needs to be able to figure out on his own. And largely what will decide if this hire was good or not is what he does this offseason. Sure, great. Could agree with all that. But until that happens, I'm not going to have a, well, we'll see what happens reaction. That's the best that I can get to. Like, well, we'll see. Hopefully it works out, but I don't buy it either. Let's just take away the Mat Ishbia aspect to this job. Let's move away from the fact that this feels like Mat Ishbia is hiring a fraternity brother from years ago that he feels like will do everything he says and is kind of doing his buddy a solid. Let's just look at the resume then. Let's just look at the resume that Mat Ishbia has put in front of us for Brian Gregory, the new general manager for the Phoenix Suns. Forget any of the connections to Mat Ishbia. He is a little over 500 coach. He's surpassed 300 wins in college basketball. That is the extent of all the positive things for Brian Gregory. I don't mean to knock the guy down. It feels a little unfair. This guy's caught in the crossfire, and all he was offered a job to be the general manager for a professional basketball team. But ask yourself this. This is how you know if the Suns are dysfunctional or not. How many other teams would have hired this guy for the same position that the Phoenix Suns hired him for? This is why it feels like Ishbia hired a fraternity brother that will do anything that he says, and whatever he says goes. 300 wins in the college basketball ranks. His best team he ever coached was Dayton, not exactly a basketball powerhouse. 1 NCAA tournament win, 2 NCAA tournament losses, 1 year of professional basketball experience, that being with the Phoenix Suns last season, in what was a diabolically bad season for the Phoenix Suns. Probably the worst season in franchise history. That was his 1 year of experience, and you're telling me that makes him qualified to be the most powerful man in the front office outside of Mat Ishbia? I'm just reading the resume. I'm not reading the fact that he was Mat Ishbia's assistant coach at Michigan State. That's where it gets even worse. So some people out there saying, well, take him for what he is, give him time. Sure, I'll give him time, and I'm willing to change my opinion accordingly. For those that have been on this show, watch this show, you know I'm not going to stick with the wrong opinion. That's stupid. Once I get new information, sure, I'll change my opinion accordingly. But we went from Bob Myers to talking about Dave Griffin to saying, well, even if we don't get either of those guys, let's just get the next hotshot protege from a Sam Presti or someone that worked under Bob Myers or someone like that. And we would have compared the resumes and said, hey, listen, he might be unproven, but he does make a lot of sense for this team. And we would have all bought into it. We're not upset because it's not Bob Myers. We thought, some of us, that was a fantasy all along. The problem is what you put in front of us. I find it hard to believe for anyone that works in that front office. I find it really hard that they put in extra legwork to find the right guy for this job. I just don't find that to be true. I don't. This feels like they waited a couple of weeks and then hired the guy they wanted to make it seem like they worked harder on this project than they actually did. This is embarrassing if you're Mat Ishbia. You went up there 2 weeks ago and talked about how you don't run things and how you're going to enable the right people to be in charge and how change is coming. All of those things feel like a lie now. It feels like you just said the right things to try to win the press conference a couple of weeks ago. That's a problem. That's a problem. For anyone who thought you were getting something different, this is a horrendous hire on its face. On just the face value of it, it's a terrible hire. Not to mention this. You're going into what is one of the most tumultuous Suns off seasons in at least the last 10 years. You need a strong leader to go in there and make sure that they make the right deals. You could potentially be trading both Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Probably not Devin Booker, but it would shock me if people didn't try to offer them something and then not listen to it. But regardless, you're trading Kevin Durant and you're quickly revamping this team. Would you feel better about Mr. Outside Hire, young protege hotshot under Sam Presti or one of those bigger name GMs under Brad Stevens? Or do you feel better about Mat Ishbia's fraternity brother, who's also his assistant head coach over at Michigan State, to be able to run these things with 1 year of basketball experience and 1 NCAA tournament win? It's not like you can point to his college basketball ranks and say, well, heck, at least he was really successful there, because he wasn't. The highest program he coached was Dayton. And outside of that, it was a lot of South Floridas and Panera Bread State. The 300 wins thing just is annoying because I don't care how many wins you have beating up on Panera Bread State and McDonald's University. That stuff doesn't move me. And that's who South Florida and Dayton was playing. They're not Duke. They're not U of A. They're not one of the better organizations in college basketball. That's not what they do. This is embarrassing if you're Mat Ishbia. You walked up there and talked about change, how the idea of you running the show behind the scenes is just funny to you because it's nonsense. And then you firmly went and hired a guy who it seems like is just a Michigan State guy that you trust, who will do as you say, who won't push back against you. We call that a comfortable hire. And that's embarrassing. Firmly embarrassing. People come to this show because they want me to keep it real with you. Sometimes it comes off as me being pessimistic. Find the positivity in this hire. 300 wins, great. A lot of Panera Bread State and McDonald's University and Chipotle Community College on those resumes. South Florida, Dayton, 1 year of NBA basketball experience. This is embarrassing if you're Mat Ishbia. You promised change. You laughed it off and when people asked if you were in charge behind the scenes running the show. And what did you do? You went and hired what seems to be a puppet. That's what everyone is going to take this as. A yes man that will do exactly what you say. And with a very turbulent offseason coming up, we have to hope that some dude named Brian Gregory, who I didn't know existed outside of 2 days ago, or I guess a guy who I didn't know existed until 2 days ago, he's going to field calls for Kevin Durant? What are your rivals thinking right now? What are other basketball teams in the association saying right now? Oh, damn. The Suns just hired Brian Gregory? The Suns just hired someone who's got 300 college basketball wins. He coached Dayton, 1 year of NBA basketball experience. Man, we're screwed. That guy's going to get everything out of us. Or do you think they're saying, what? You hired this guy? Awesome. Someone pick up the phone for Kevin Durant. I think we might get a bargain on this one. Maybe he does well, and I'm willing to see it through. But all I have in front of me right now is his resume, and I can block off the Mat Ishbia ties. Sure, the rest of it ain't that good either. This is embarrassing. And I'm not so sure how you fix it if you're Ishbia, because this guy is getting a couple of years. He's getting time to screw up. He's going to get time to to form his own opinion. This is asinine. It's embarrassing. And if you're a Phoenix Suns fan, you feel worse about the Suns' chances, not better. That's where it ends with me. That's where it ends. I am baffled that after everything Ishbia said, it's nonsense. And here's the worst part to it. I can no longer say I trust this front office anymore. I can no longer say I trust this office after hiring Brian Gregory as the new general manager of the Phoenix Suns. That sucks to say. And so then you're talking about other moves, things you weren't comfortable with. For me, I was anti-trade Devin Booker until my face turned blue. That's where I was. I said, no, we can't do this. You can't trade Devin Booker. You can build around him. You can make a capable, competent, competitive team around Devin Booker. That is not impossible. You can do it as so much as next year as long as you nail the Kevin Durant trade. That was when I thought I trusted this front office. Man, be careful what you wish for, because I already missed James Jones. So now you're talking about me not trusting this front office at all. And if that's the case, I'm willing to listen to offers for Devin Booker now. I'm willing to listen to what the Rockets might give, what the Thunder might give, what the Knicks might give for Devin Booker. Because I don't trust this front office to put a capable and competent team around him. I just don't. And you shouldn't either, because they continuously show you that they have no reason to they have no stock in them for you to have reason to believe in them. Ivan, it is okay that you're late. We weren't even supposed to have a show today. I promised to everyone yesterday, as our shows have been getting bigger, I'm not going to be around tomorrow, that being today, Friday, because I've been streaming ever since Monday last week, so it's been very, very busy. And so it's good to have you. It's good to have you here, man. I am just doing this one segment today for Michael as well in the chat. I will be back Monday as well. Normal schedule time, 7 a.m., Monday through Thursday. But today's a special edition because the Suns hired a new general manager, and that's a big deal. But ultimately, final thoughts, guys. I reserve the right to change my mind. I'm rooting for him to succeed. But at the end of the day, all I have to judge this on is Mat Ishbia's past of hirings in the front office and, of course, now head coaching, and this guy's resume. So even if you want to talk about not be like, just get rid of the Mat Ishbia thing because people hire people they know all the times, that is absolutely true. Look at the resume. It gets even worse. So I apologize if you're a Suns fan, not for my take, but for the fact because I'm still going to watch this team. It's my job. But if I'm a Suns fan, it's frustrating. I get it. This is not what you wanted to see in a hire, and hopefully he figures it out. I have my doubts about that. You should too. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the Suns hire Brian Gregory. Not really sure where they found this guy. Well, I do know, but it's kind of more funny to say it the other way. So with that being said, guys, this was a special edition of the Ben Garcia Show. We normally don't stream on Fridays. We are a Monday through Thursday show at 7 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Appreciate you guys making me a part of your day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend about the Ben Garcia Show. I will see you guys on Monday. And don't forget to hit the like button. It's like that. It's that easy for me to just get that more people join. And even today on a Friday where people didn't know that I was going to be streaming, we got 11 people in here. We are growing. Thank you. And thank you for making me a part of your day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend about the Ben Garcia Show. And I will see you guys Monday as well. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ben Garcia Show. If you interact with me on there, I will absolutely interact back with you. I appreciate you guys doing that. You guys are just as important to this show as I am. King Nacho, before I sign off, trade Bradley Beal. All right, guys, have a good one. Stay safe.